2. Hello, everyone. I am so excited to have you join us today for a number of reasons. One, my very good friend Ali is here from CarMatrix to talk about how to appear multiple times on Google's first page. And second, because this is our first ever live webinar presentation live from Las Vegas. That's right, we are live from Las Vegas. Actually, we're both in the same hotel, apparently on opposite ends of the hotel, because rumor has it our presenter today has a fabulous view of the Bellagio fountain, whereas I have a fabulous view of us there as well. But since he is simply amazing, I am not going to hold that against him. So before we get started, this webinar is being recorded. A link to the webinar recording is sent to everyone. You do not have to message in and ask for a recording. Everyone will get it if you register. So a little bit about Ali. He's ChiroMatrix Senior Business Development Manager, has nearly 5 years of chiropractic sales, marketing, and leadership experience, which he has used to help thousands of chiropractors get new patients and become leaders in their local market. Today, he's going to help educate future business owners on 3 common online marketing challenges that chiropractors are facing and how to fix them in order to optimize your practice. Amazing information from an amazing resource, and he's just fabulous. So anyway, I'm going to turn it over to you, my dear.
Chrissy, and hello, everybody, like she said, from Las Vegas. It's beautiful out here. I'll try not to get this my view, but got a lot of great information to give to you today. As Chrissy mentioned, there are a lot of common challenges for chiropractors, especially when it comes to being found online, specifically in reference to Google's first page. So I'm not going to only show you how you guys can overcome those challenges and be found on page 1, but also show you how you can appear multiple times on Google's first page. A lot of people think that the name of the game is just being found on Google, and although that is difficult to do and good for you if you make it to page 1, but a lot of people don't realize that's just the beginning. You can show up multiple times, not just one time, and really set yourself apart from any competition, make yourself look like that authority figure, especially when you show up multiple times on page 1. That's going to be huge for that new patient when they see something like that. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. And if you guys have any questions, please hold on to them, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you guys might have during this presentation. So as Chrissy mentioned, my name is Ali Nikoopour. I am the Senior Business Development Manager at ChiroMatrix. Been there for over 5 years now. I pride myself on going to various random cities and just educating small business owners, doctors on the importance of online marketing, what you need to do to help not only gain exposure online, but to really attract new patients and generate extra revenue for your clinic or for your practice. And this is why Google is so important, because number one, I'm pretty sure everybody here on this webinar has heard of Google, and they know that they are that 800-pound in the room. They are not going to go anywhere for a long time. So if you want to be found on Google, there's a lot of things that you have to do in Google's eyes. So there's no cheating the system or anything. Google catches everything. They're very smart, meticulous in their algorithms. Can be confusing, but this is you can lean your trust on a experienced company like us to kind of sit through all that information and break it down for you guys. So for those of you who are not familiar with ChiroMatrix, we are a premier Google partner. We are the only premier Google partner in the entire chiropractic industry. We're very proud of that. Some people are Google partners, but they don't hold that function of being a premier Google partner. It took us many years to get it. It's not something you can buy or purchase. It's something that Google awards to the highest companies out there. They look at certain things, your retention rate, how many clients you have, how much ad spend you're doing for those clients in a given month, in a given year, all these different things. So we're very blessed and proud to hold that distinction. And every single bit of information I'm going to give today is coming directly from Google themselves. And that's really one of the most tremendous benefits of having that premier Google partnership is anytime Google comes out with an algorithm change, which they do almost 500 algorithm changes in a year, more than one a day, they release that algorithm update to their premier partners before they release it out to the public. So it gives us a tremendous advantage to get that information first so that we can go ahead and update that algorithm for all of our clients on their behalf, so that you, the doctor, don't have to worry about daily algorithm updates from Google. That's something that we automatically do and take care of for you. And then, of course, we proudly hold an A+ Business Bureau. Been in the industry since 2002. This is our 17th year, so we are growing rapidly. We have an even bigger headquarters in San Diego, California. Not sure if anybody's. It's a beautiful city, sunshine most of the year. We pay for the weather, as they say, because it is pretty pricey, but it puts a smile on everybody's face. And everything we do at CarMatrix is all done in one house in our headquarters in San Diego, which helps us provide a lot better customer service for our clients. Instead of having to outsource it to different cities, different countries, everything is taken care of internally in one house. So I'm going to dive into what we're going to be covering in today's presentation. Going to go over why we all strive for page 1 on Google, the importance of that, and why it's really a race, if you will, a race to page 1, because nobody wants to be left out on page 2 or 3. The majority of people don't even go past page 1. I myself am a victim of that. So that's why we all strive to be on page 1. Using PPC, which if you're not familiar is pay-per-click advertisement, to secure your top 3 spots on Google results, guaranteed. I'm going to show you examples of exactly what that looks like, but that's the top section. Then you do a search, those little ads, that's PPC, pay-per-click advertising, AdWords. Going to go over using organic optimization to populate multiple results. Optimization, search engine optimization, or I'll short-term use throughout this presentation, SEO, search optimization, plays a very, very big role in your website's ranking. I'll go in a little bit more detail, but for now, just think of SEO as essentially a credit score that Google places on each site. And depending on what you do and how well you optimize your site will depend on where you show up on a Google search ranking result. I will also go over the importance of branding for your practice in every aspect, whether it be your office itself, site, your social media platforms. It is so, so vital and important to have consistent branding throughout all of those platforms. And I'll show you a great way to do that as well. And then finally, I'm going to go through our personal methods of first page success. Again, everything I'm giving you is free information from Google. You guys can do this yourselves. We're proud to be educators, show you how to do it. But again, if you don't have time or the resources, this is where we ask that you instill your trust in a company like ChiroMatrix and allow us to manage and handle all of that online marketing for you. So it's really up to you how hands-on or hands-off you'd like to get. But let's just go ahead and dive in and provide you some great feedback and information on what's going on in 2019 with Google. So for those who might not be familiar, the anatomy of Google's first page, on basically any page you go on Google, it's going to have 3 main sections. The very top, as I mentioned earlier, is the pay-per-click advertisement, the PPC. Right that advertisement section is the Google My Business listings, what we like to call the map pack. It used to be called Google Plus. It's now called Google My Business Listing. And it's typically only 3 spots. The lucky 3-pack, as we call them, will show up there on the map section. And this is also where all your reviews will come into play and also be highlighted. And I'll go into that in a little bit more detail, but that is important and also helps in your ranking. And the only way to get to that section is to actually have a Google My Business listing. And then the third, right underneath the map pack, is the actual search listings itself. This is that search engine optimization, the SEO. This is probably the most difficult section to be found on because, again, there's all these algorithm changes, all these particular things that Google looks for, and you have to do nearly all of them correctly in order to stand a chance found on page 1 of the organic listings. So let's kind of show you, I'm a very visual person, so what I just showed you, this is a breakdown. Anytime you do a search, 9 times out of 10, this is the type of layout or result that you'll see on a page. The very top, as you see, is that PPC marketing, that ad. The reason why it's called PPC, pay per click, because every time somebody clicks on that ad, it's going to cost you money. So if you put in, say, $100 in your AdWords, and you're trying to be found for the term chiropractor in your area, depending on your area, depending on business, it's going to cost a certain amount of money. So let's just use an example. If the term chiropractor costs $1 and you put in $100 in your ad spend, that means you're 100 clicks before your ad is fully disappeared and gone. Your only stay there as long as your budget lasts. So that's why it's called pay per click. It's a fast, immediate, instant way to get to the top of Google's page, but it also can be quite costly, especially if you don't know exactly what you're doing in the right research. But it's that temporary and immediate return on that gets you up there right away. It will cost you, but that's the only way you can guarantee your spot at the very top, is to actually have to pay for it. The section right under that, as you see, is the section I mentioned. It's that Google My Business listing. Again, used to be called Google+. If you're not familiar with it, try to think of it as Google's version or way of being like Facebook. So it works the same way. You have your information, your practice information, your address, phone number, email, and then you can do certain posts just like you do on Facebook. But what's really, really important, what I stress that you guys should utilize, is reviews on this platform. It's great to get reviews anywhere you can, Facebook, Yelp, HealthGrades, all of those. But by far the most impactful and the most important place to get reviews is here on Google My Business Listings. The reason why is it's a platform by Google themselves. Google tends to be a little narcissistic. They love themselves, their product. So they reward people for using their own services and their own products. So the only way you guys can ever be found on this map section is if you have Google My Business Listings. So if you don't already have one, chances are Google created one automatically for you. I would highly recommend going and researching your practice on Google Maps, seeing if it shows up. If so, you definitely need to go and take it over and manage it and basically register for it. If for whatever reason you don't see one, then it's simply create one. It's free to do, just like Facebook, and do a professional one for your practice, and then just start getting reviews on there. I can't stress that enough, how important it is to ask your patients for reviews, and specifically through Google My Business Listings. Now, something you should keep in mind, when asking for reviews, it has to be natural and organic. They have to do it outside of your office. If you try to set up, say, a desktop in the waiting room and have all your reviews go through that one desktop, well, Google's going to catch on. They're very smart. Like I said, they don't miss anything. And they're going to see that as almost falsified reviews because they're all coming from one IP address. And chances are they're going to flag and block all those reviews because it doesn't seem natural in their eyes. So when asking your patients, make sure that they leave a review outside your office, whether it be on their smartphone, whether it be at the luxury of their house on a desktop, anywhere, as long as you don't intentionally manipulate it within your practice. And the more reviews you get, the more likely you are to be higher up on that map section. As you can see, there's only 3 spots, so there's a lot that you have to do to set yourself apart from the competition in your area. The section below that is that organic listing. This, again, takes more time. It's a lot of information that you have to do, a lot of optimizing for your website, mobile responsive example, so many different things, which I'll get into in a little bit more detail. But really what's beneficial about this is a lot of people will click on this because they know these aren't ads like up here at PPC. People still click on the ads, but people tend to psychologically trust the organic listings more because, one, you didn't pay to be there. actually placed there because Google found your business qualified enough to be on page one. And that shows the user something is right. This practice is doing something right because Google always has the best interest of their user. They're never, hardly ever going to highlight a bad on page one. So this is an area where people show more trust in. This does take more time, but if and when you finally make it to page one in your organic listing, it's more of a long-term success story. Think of PPC as short-term up top here because it gets you to the top automatically right away, instant ROI, but it's short-term, it's short-lived, only as long as your budget lasts. When you come down here and you make it to page, it's more long-term. You're going to last a lot longer, especially if you're in the top 3 or top 5 results, because what essentially people do is they compare the top 3 or top 5 results to see which doctor is their best fit. And the fact that your site is, since it's up there constantly getting clicks and clicks and clicks, Google sees that as your site is very relevant. So you're essentially locking yourself up in that position because people are going to continue to visit your site and Google will continue to reward that. So it is a long-term game, but you will see long-term success out of it once you finally get to that page one Google search ranking results. So that's kind of the anatomy of a Google page search result. Now, why we all strive for page one. As you know, like myself, most people don't go past page one. It's always about page one, location, location, location. 75% of web users don't click past page one. It's just a natural fact. That's why we want to be highlighted. We all strive to be on page one because we want people to see us. It's like a billboard in the middle of the desert, as opposed to having a billboard right there smack in the middle of downtown in a metropolitan city. More people are going to see it that way because you're just in a better location on page one. Being on page one also boosts your credibility because, like I said, the user understands you did something right. You deserve and earn the right to be on page one in Google's eyes. So it helps you also stick out and bury the competition, especially when you're on page one and your competitors down the street are on page 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. It just really helps you stand out and make yourself more of an authority figure. And increased search results means more prospective business. The more times people see you, the more exposure you have to a potential new patient, increases the more likelihood of them actually converting and turning into that new patient. So to give your practice, your business, the best chance of conversion and increasing that new patient revenue, you have to expose yourself and be found online. That's why it's so important to be found on page one to increase that credibility, increase your search, and overall increase your business. Now, for the top section, using PPC to secure the top 3 spots, guaranteed. As I mentioned, you're guaranteed up there, but it's only as long as your budget lasts. So why is it important? It gets you to the top of the page like real estate. It's the highest you can be on page one. Location, location. It's very important and useful because you can actually target audience. These ads should be targeted to a specific type of patient that you're looking for, and certainly as highlighting a specific type of specialty that you service. So whenever you do an ad, definitely target it to what you're trying, and whether it be pediatric care, sports injury, auto injury. These ads are a great opportunity to be found for that specific target. And like I mentioned, it's immediate return on your investment because with these pay-per-click advertisements, they all come back with Google Analytics. So they'll show you how people are clicking on your ad. It'll show you of those people, how many stayed on your site, and then how many of people actually converted into a new patient. So it's a great way to test the waters out. I always recommend just trying, 1 month, maybe even just 1 week, but see your return. You can really gauge what your audience is seeing. You can see how effective your ad is, especially when you're trying to find a specific type of niche patient. These are very, very important. I'm going to show you how to create an effective PPC landing page when you do these advertisements, because you don't want just a normal ad when you're spending all this money on that ad budget. You want it to be a very nice professional landing page to have the highest percentage conversion for when somebody does click on that ad. You don't really want to set that ad up to go to your homepage. You really need to create a separate landing page, and it's going to be good for tracking purposes as well. And let me show you an example of what a good landing page, an effective PPC landing page looks like. So this is an example of a custom landing page that we did. These are all the recommendations for the highest by Google themselves. So this is how we and Google recommend creating and putting certain things on your landing page. Right at the very top, you see the reviews. If you have reviews, which I highly recommend you getting if you don't, but if you have good reviews, this is where you need to highlight it on the page. It increases confidence in the new patient. It's word of mouth on steroids, because they will literally go in and view every single review, what people are saying, in order to help build that confidence to make that decision. This is my go-to doc. Everybody thinks about them. Look at all these stellar reviews versus a doctor down the street who has maybe 2 or 3 stars. It's a no-brainer. I'm going to the 5-star doctor all the time. So definitely highlight and showcase your reviews on your landing page. Absolutely have a call to action button right underneath that. And this is where we recommend a specific tracking number. You don't want it to go or general line at your front desk, because then, again, it's difficult for you to track where these phone numbers and who's calling me from where. When you have a specific tracking number, anytime somebody calls that number, you automatically know they found you through your ad. So it's helping to create that transparency and those analytics for you. And again, just to see results, the return on investment. So it's very important to create a call to action with a specific phone number for you to track. We also recommend with an action an opportunity for them to potentially request or book an appointment, as well as any offers that you guys might be offering. Everybody loves a sale. Everybody loves a good deal, a discount. So it's a great opportunity to showcase any discounts that you might potentially be willing to offer. If there's pretty much some sort of holiday in any given month, you can always piggyback off that. I just recently had Valentine's Day, St. Patty's Day is coming up. So, you could be creative and fun with St. Patty's Day promotion, 10% off new patient visits or returning patient visits. It really helps increase that conversion rate because, again, people want a good deal. And if you're identical to the doctor down the street and they're offering a discount but you're not, well, guess what? 9 times out of 10, they're going to go with that doctor that has that discount. So we highly recommend, if you can, just do some sort of special offer to sweeten the deal and incentivize them to request that appointment. And then at the very bottom, you want service-specific information. So again, with this ad, who is your target audience? Is it sports injury? Is it family care, pediatric, auto injury? This is where you need to have specific information loaded in that landing page. And again, take your time, make sure that you have a very nice, professional, effective landing page. And then once all of these things are done, the reviews, the call to actions, the specialties, any discounts, have fun with it. Place it out there and just see what happens. You don't have to do a lot. You can maybe even do $50, see how long it lasts. But definitely hone in on the type of keyword and specific that you want to be found for, so that when somebody does that search, your ad will show up. Because if that keyword isn't in your landing page, then it's not going to show up. If you're doing, let's say, auto injury specific ad word, and somebody searches prenatal care, your ad's not going to show up. And why should it? It's not a service that you're trying to target or advertise for. So it makes sense for it not to show up, because somebody would just click on it with no intention of actually booking the appointment with you and just wasting your time. So when you hone in the actual keyword and term you want to be found for, that's when your ad actually shows. So if you go broad and say chiropractor or chiropractic care, then you're going to show up in a lot more searches, and it might stretch and kind of cost you more in your ad spend. Whereas if you do specific sports injury, actually looking for a sports doctor and searches will find your ad every time. Using organic optimization to populate multiple search results. So this is what I'm talking about, how you guys can be found multiple times on page one. So there are 3 sections on any given page, especially page one. There's no reason why, and we've seen multiple clients of ours do this, to be on all 3 of those sections, to have AdWords at the top, to be on the 3-pack in the map section with great reviews, and then also an section underneath that map pack. And what's really important is all these elements right here, especially for being found in the organic search ranking results underneath the map section. This is kind of a little bit more technical. Again, if you don't have the time, you didn't go to school for coding and things like that, not a problem. This is where, again, please instill your trust in a company like and where we can do a professional job for you, especially when it comes to metadata and page description. It's a lot about the back end, the keywords that you use, the description of the web page itself, that little millions of Google bots sit through every single page, testing out and spotting these keys. So the way you do your metadata and your page description on the back end of your website plays a very important role in your ranking, as well as the impact of keywords. So again, keyword specialties, pediatric care, sports injury. If you are a sports injury doctor, you have to have those keywords embedded in your website. Now, you don't want to do overkill, obviously. You don't want to just say sports injury, sport, but you want to write a blog, a post, a newsletter, a services page on your website, something where you're actually describing what you specialize in. Just write, it doesn't have to be a novel, maybe 1 or 2 paragraphs, a blog post once every month or 2, but have that information specific to that keyword that you're wanting to be found for. Google, like I mentioned, sends all these little millions of bots to sit through every website, search every single word. So when they see content that's relative to that specific keyword that you're wanting to be found for, they're going to boost you up in that SEO ranking score. If you're trying to be found for sports injury and there's really hardly any information on your website about sports injury, chances are Google's not going to place you on page 1. Why should they? You're just claiming sports. You're not providing actual information on your site, actual services about that. So this is, again, take time. You can even do an autobiography. It helps. What got you into the chiropractic care in the first place, some of your passions, really humanize yourself, and just write whatever you like to write, but make it subjugated to what you're trying to be found for. And that plays a role into getting to know your audience. What are they searching for? What do they want to be found for? What type of doctor are they looking for? And that's why you can write these articles. We highly recommend, if you don't do blogs, try at least start doing them. You don't have to do one every day. Certainly that's overkill. But if you can do one every month or 2, that's great in Google's eyes. And it doesn't have to be a blog about the same specialty. You switch. One blog will be about sports injury. The next will be about preemptive care. The next could be about auto injury. Anything you want. Just change it up, but be natural, and always use your own words and content. Never copy and paste, because that's duplicate content. Google, with all those, will catch that, and they can ding you. So just be natural. Make sure it's your own words, and again, have fun with it. Because as I mentioned, it creates long-term success with search engine optimization. When you do these things and you finally reap the rewards and be found on page 1, you're going to, in essence, lock yourself there for long term. You've done all the hard work. Google is now going to reward you and keep you up there and keep you visible. People to your site and clicking you and seeing what you're about. So it might be a little pain at first. It's like a marathon. It's a long-term race. It's a long-term run, but you're going to reap the rewards once you cross that finish line. Along with search engine optimization comes with a very optimized homepage. So I'm pretty sure almost everybody here has a website. There's certain things you have to have on your website for considered fully optimized in Google's eyes. And I'm going to go over some of those things. One of them, of course, is mobile responsive technology. If you don't have that already, it's something that's been required since 2016. The reason why, people nowadays are all on their smartphones. Google realized people are searching on smartphones more nowadays than on desktops. So that's why they mandated every web be mobile responsive, not just mobile friendly, but mobile responsive, so that it shrinks and fits on whatever device the user's on. They don't have to pinch and scroll or any of your information get cut off. So on your hopefully mobile responsive homepage, what you want to do is highlight, update, accurate contact information. Always make sure you have the right hours, you have the right phone number, the right address, up-to-date staff information. If sometimes you have staff members that come and go, always update that information on your website. Take pictures of you and the staff. People want to see the face of the doctor. It helps reduce anxiety, fear, and again, it humanizes you. So it really increases your conversion rate when you have nice pictures of you, yourself, your staff, the area. As I mentioned also before, testimonials from happy clients. This is something you guys should highlight anywhere you go because you deserve it. Congratulations, you did something right. You got a 5-star review. Why shouldn't you highlight that for the rest of the world to see? This is very important. So not only have it on your social media, but have it placed on your website. And we recommend somewhere on the top because people will always click, 70% of people will always click and go straight to those reviews first. They want to see what actual real live patients are saying, not just the doctor boasting about him or herself. Mention specialties, like I mentioned. What separates you from the doctor down the street? What do you do? What do you feel that you specialize in that nobody else does? Mention those, and of course, again, write information about those specialties, a blog post, pictures, anything. Highlight those things because that's going to make you, again, stand out from the competition down the street. And then again, social media. If you don't have it, unfortunately, it is required nowadays. It plays a significant role in your SEO ranking. It might be annoying, a nuisance. I even find that true myself, but it's a requirement for themselves. If you don't have the time, we always ask, delegate it to an office manager or staff. Somebody should be keeping up with this. Again, if you don't have those resources, here at ChiroMatrix, we can literally take over your social media for you and do posts on your behalf if you'd like. But what you want is not only the Facebook, the Twitter, and the Google My Business listing. You want those highlighted right on top of your website so that it's easy access. Somebody can just click on that Facebook link and then it'll redirect them to your, hopefully your professional branded page. Now, when you do social media, of course, have them all professional business social media outlets. You never really want to connect it with a personal one. And I'll go into why later because that goes more into branding. And I'm going to show you an example. So this is an ideal homepage, one of our clients. As you can see, if I'm a new patient, I don't even have to touch my mouse or my finger on my screen to scroll because every little bit of information I need to know is right there on that homepage. They highlight their specialties. As you can see, it's a tab homepage. So now I know what this doctor specializes in. And then if I click on any one of these, there's more specific information about that specialty and how that relates to the doctor. Right up top, my Google reviews, my Yelp reviews. Click here to view, click here to leave a review. So it's not only good because people are going to click and see those reviews, but now you've made an easy outlet for your patients to leave a review, because if you can see it, it says click here to leave a review. That just increases the amount of reviews that you get. You always want to make it easy for your patient to leave a good review. If you did a good job and they want to boast about you, you never want to make it difficult for them to leave a review. So we always recommend embedding your reviews at the very top and giving them an outlet to leave, not just to view what other people are saying about you, but share their opinion. It's very simple and easy to do. And as you can see, the eyes just naturally populate to the very top. Oh, Google reviews, Yelp reviews, specialties. Down here, you see these call to action buttons. Again, learn more about our services. Download our online forms. And then right above the review, mention, phone number, and then the social media links embedded right to the site. Anything and everything I need to know about this doctor, this practice is right here on this homepage. This is a truly, truly effective example. And the reason why we say this, not only because we get this information from Google, but Google does these user eye tests. It's a very lazy and patient generation we live in, unfortunately. And the average time somebody spends on a website, believe it or not, is about 10 seconds. So with that very short, limited time patient span that the new patient has, within that 10 seconds, this is why it's so vital to have an effective homepage. Because within that 10 seconds, their eyes can see everything they want to see and stimulate curiosity to encourage them to stay longer. In that 10 seconds, they're looking for certain things. They're looking for pictures, they're looking for specialties, looking for reviews, social media. If they don't see that in 10 seconds, guess what? They're leaving your site and they're going on to the next doctor. So in that very, very short span of time, this is why you have to have a very cohesive, very effective homepage so that you can attract those 10-second new users and give them a reason to stay longer. That also is one of many, many elements that plays a role into your search engine optimization rankings, is the amount of time spent on your site. Google knows everything. They know how many visitors you're getting, and they know the average time the visitors spend on the site. So, again, they look out for the best interest of the user. When they see a site that has a lot of traffic and a lot of time being spent on that site, what do you think they're going to do? They boost that website up to the top of their search results because they realize, they view the value in this site and all the users clicking on it and all the users staying on it. So it tells Google, hey, the users really appreciate this. The users really like this. So let's boost this up for the user. So that's why it's important to have a nice, effective homepage so that you can not only attract that new patient, but get them to stay longer. It's like a timed game. The longer they stay on your site, the clock is ticking in Google's eyes. The more relevant you are in that keyword to Google. So give them a reason to stay on your site. Make it easy for them to sit through anything and any they're looking for through your website, through a nice, effective homepage. Social media. Why it's effective, why we have to do it nowadays. Like I mentioned, it's necessary. It plays a role in your rankings online, and Google requiring people to do it. Why? Again, because they look at stats. Approximately 2.13 billion people use Facebook. That's about a third of the world's population. So you and I might not like it, but it is required, and it's something that really impactfully can increase the revenue of your practice. Social media, like I mentioned, do factor into your SEO organic search results. So it's not only vital and crucial for you to have them and to keep up with them, but to link them on your website, as I told you earlier. That is considered a backlink. And again, more backlinks that increases your ranking in Google's eyes. So And something you should know about social media, you don't have to do overkill. In Google's eyes, the minimum requirement that they're asking is 2 to 3 posts a week. So that's not even one a day. If you manage to do 2 to 3 posts in a week, you're going to be doing exactly what is required in Google's eyes, the minimum requirement. And they don't have to all be professional. They can be, you know, fun. What did you do on your weekend outside the office? Maybe a picture of the staff, picture of you adjusting a patient. They can be fun. They can be little memes, you know, anything, as long as you're actually doing the post and hopefully getting those engagements. Google wants to see that, the likes, the comments, the shares. How really effective are you in reaching your audience through social media? So just do it when you have, whether you, a staff member, or a company like CarMatrix, definitely keep up with it. Most importantly, like everything else, try to have fun with it, because you will see an increase in your business if you do it properly and effectively. Creating cohesive across the web. And this is what I kind of touched on earlier, why you want to create a professional media branded page as opposed to linking your personal ones. So you want to keep it cohesive throughout all your platforms, your website, your social media, whatever it is. So an example, feature your practice logo on your website and your social media channels. Choose a consistent color scheme. Stay true to your practice's purpose. Why branding is important is it's a psychological effect. When you see that Nike swoosh, that little check sign, everybody knows what company that is without actually saying the company. The golden arches of McDonald's, they know because that's branding. It's everywhere. That logo is consistent. It's everywhere online that they see. I'll show you an example of what I mean. This is a cohesive branding across the web. As you see, this is the doctor's homepage. This is the doctor's homepage. This is the Facebook page. As you can see, the coloring is essentially the same. The logo, the branding, the phone number, the reviews are on there. It really, because if you have a homepage that's, say, green, and then your Facebook is red, it just is confusing. It doesn't create that cohesive branding, that psychological effect that you want. So stay true to your logo, stay true to your color, and keep that branding throughout all the social media platforms, even, you know, the little blog posts that you do on your website. Keep that cohesiveness, that branding, so that hopefully in time, when somebody sees your logo, they're going to know exactly who that doctor is. They're going to know exactly where their location is, all that wonderful stuff. I know how to get a hold of this doctor. And again, it just helps increase your search engine ranking results. Google sees all. There's very, very little things that you can get away with that Google does not catch. So again, they reward branding and cohesiveness. When they see this throughout all your social media platforms, it only helps, because they're just going to reward you and give you more of those bonus brownie points for that SEO ranking. Appealing more to searchers on mobile first website approaches. So essentially what I'm trying to say is you have to have a mobile-friendly site, a mobile responsive version of your site. Again, 52%, more than half of traffic is being generated on a mobile device. Mobile first indexing. Everybody on their phone throughout their day. I can almost guarantee, as I'm doing this webinar right now, some of you are on your smartphones searching or doing something else, which is fine. But Google realizes this. They know this. And that's, they absolutely require every website to be fully mobile responsive. So not only is it required, if you do not have a mobile version of your site, your chances are you're not going to be found on page one. Google, again, looks out for the user, and they know through metrics and studies, countless hours of research, users do not like when they have to pinch and scroll on their smartphone. It's annoying, it's not helpful, and at the same time, a lot of your vital information can accidentally be getting cut off Like if your phone number is to the right of your homepage and you don't have a mobile responsive site, then maybe that right side of your page is getting cut off. They can't even see your phone number, your address, unless they know to pinch that screen in order to reduce that size. You don't want to do that. Make it easy for the user. Have a mobile updated site, increase your conversion, and of course, increase your rankings by having that mobile responsive site. And if you guys don't know what it looks like, again, call us, ask us if you're confused on any of it. This is why we're here. We want to educate you on the importance of that. Something to tell you, and hopefully you guys hear it first from me at ChiroMatrix, is Google is telling us that they're noticing a big change coming for 2019. So it used to be when you wanted to do a search back in the day, it was the yellow pages or your neighbor or somebody just word of mouth. Then came along the internet and desktops. People did all searching through desktops. Then comes 2015, 2016, more people are doing searches on mobile phones now. Guess what the new trend is going to be for 2019? It's predicted by the end of 2019, more searches are now going to be done through voice than actual mobile devices. What does that mean? It's a mobile voice search. If you're familiar with Siri or Alexa or Google, this is where you're actually talking to your device and your device is talking back. It's kind of creepy. It's almost, it's like we're living in the Jetsons day and age, but it is the future, and the future is here now. So it is something that's very important for websites coming up in the next months to be optimized for voice searches as well. And that's something that we specialize in. Again, please feel free to give us a call. We'll show you how to do that, because that's another avenue, another directory that you need to be found on. Because if somebody does a voice search, hey Alexa or hey Siri, find me the new chiropractor, and you don't have your site optimized for voice search, you're not going to show up in those search results. Those results are different than when somebody actually goes to Google and types in a question. So that's just a little insider information from us here at CarMatrix, directly from our friends at Google. If you haven't heard of it, I hope you heard of it here first, and keep that in the back of your mind, because by the end of this year, it's going to be a very, very huge important factor in searches. Again, it kind of feeds into that lazy generation. People just, nowadays, they don't even want to text. They don't even want to use their thumbs. They just want to use their voice. You have to stay ahead of the curve if you want to take advantage and be found for those type of voice searches. So doing all these things, combining your efforts, boosts your visibility, and it increases your chances of being found multiple times on page one. So increase your traffic time. Increase your traffic in a short amount of time. It takes you up to the top of Google. Leaves little room for the competition. Again, if you're showing up multiple times on page one, it makes it a no-brainer for that new patient. They're going to say, hey, this doctor is doing something right. They're ranking on the maps. They're ranking organically. They got an ad going. It's location, location, location. And the more locations you have, the more times you show up, the more of an authority figure you look in that new user's eyes. And again, it kind of just helps blow the competition away. I myself, if I see a doctor with all 5-star reviews, they're ranking number 1, number 2, I hardly even go and compare other doctors. I already know in my mind, this is a doctor for me because it's proven, social proof. There's all these reviews. Google themselves rewards them by putting them at the top of search ranking results. I instill my trust in this doctor without having ever met them, simply because of a Google search and where they show up. So combine all these efforts that I showed you, and you will see success. Be patient with it. It's not overnight, but you will see the long-term success. Doing it sooner rather than later will definitely help reduce that amount of time that you want to see those results. And then this is our method, for first page success. Again, everything that I mentioned today, feel free to do it yourself. Feel free to call us and ask us how you or your staff member can do it, or sign up with one of our marketing programs. We'll be more than happy to do all of these things for you. We recommend an experienced website management where everything is optimized. And the benefit, again, of a company like us, every time we get an algorithm update, we go ahead and update it on all clients' websites. We do it on behalf of you so that you don't have to worry about that. Class of that was that mobile responsiveness switch. When they required that, Google announced that to us and their partners first. So we went in and all of our clients' websites update them to mobile responsiveness well before the public even caught wind of it. So it's always great to stay ahead of the curve and to really just have back-end access VIP talk with Google. Recommend research keywords for your business. There's all these great tools, Google Analytics, that you can use that you can see what the new patient is searching. You can literally type in a keyword, type in your zip code, and in a given month, it'll show you how many people are actually searching for that keyword. Very, very important information research to do. We recommend you do it. If you don't, again, that's what we're here for. Paid advertising options, very important. Again, it's that immediate return on investment, but do your research. Make sure you know what you're doing. Otherwise, it's going to cost a lot more in your budget than it should. This is why it's also, we recommend using professional Google AdWords certified account managers, such as the ones we have at ChiroMatrix, because they're the ones that do all the research for you, the market research. You give them a keyword you found for, they're going to do all the metrics for you. And then we're going to show you how to stretch that as far as you can. We're going to tell you to set a parameter around, like a radius around your area. We're going to tell you when to run your ads. You don't want to run them 24 hours. That's just, point. So all those little things help in stretching your budget, your ad spend, go as far as possible. Ongoing optimized content and video. Video is huge. We can send a production crew to your actual location, your practice, and do a nice video shoot for you, syndicated on YouTube, which is owned by, so it's very, very important. YouTube, highly recommend. If you guys don't have one already, just like Facebook and Twitter and all them, create a professional one for your business and have fun with it. This is where you can take videos on your smartphone. Nearly every phone nowadays has HD quality. You can go and take video testimonials free of charge, post it on your YouTube. And since it's owned by Google, they're going to reward you again for using one platforms. Incorporate, as I mentioned, social media and review management. Put those backlinks up there. Make it easy for them to not only view your reviews, but to also leave a review for you and to visit your social media platforms. And then new website themes and complementary website refreshes. You always want to kind of make the feel and look of your site at least once a year. And this is what we can do for you free of charge anytime that you want. We come out with new themes pretty much on a monthly basis. So it's always good to update it, and that's a great thing in Google's eyes that you're constantly updating it. The last thing you want to do is set up a website and not for years, because Google will notice that. They like to see updates, constant activity. It shows that, hey, this doctor's still in business. This doctor is relevant. So again, they're going to reward you, and it's only going to increase your SEO ranking score in their eyes. And that being said, that's the conclusion. I will yield and hand it back to Christy, but if you guys have any questions, please feel free to type them or give us a call. Since we are proud partners with ChiroHealthUSA, all of you automatically receive significant discounts through our partnership and benefits. So please give us a call. Do mention this web. Also mention that you're a member of ChiroHealthUSA, and every single one of our internet consultants will know to give you that automatic discount.
Thank you so much, Ollie. Y'all have no idea, like the sheer amount of work that really goes into this research and being able to stay on top of all of those Google changes that he is talking about, that far exceeds what anyone in your office really has time to do without really neglecting the primary responsibility, the primary goal you have each day, which is focusing your attention on your patients. even in our marketing team, we have somebody whose sole responsibility is really focused on SEO and Google, and then we have somebody else whose only responsibility is social media within our company. Of course, we're also not a clinic, and we partner with, an amazing company like ChiroMatrix because they were so amazing, great to work with, and provided Dr. Boxford's clinics with some fabulous information when he really didn't know what he needed or where to get started with having, a very useful and a user-friendly website for his patients. And as you know, we don't really partner with anybody if we've never tried and tested their products and services in his own practice. And for that, we are, again, absolutely grateful for the resources that they provided. So,
thank you.
Unbelievable. And as he said, that the sponsor, they're being a partner with Google, that's just, it doesn't happen very often. And like you said, you can't buy that kind of partnership with them. You have to earn it, and they have earned it.
Thank you. And I see we have a question, looks like from Dr. Fisher. What is your average price range each website? So we're a full-scale online marketing company. We have 9 different service levels, ranging anywhere from $99 a month all the way up to $1,500 a month. So it really depends on your budget and how aggressive you like to get with your marketing. But we can pretty much handle, take care, or take over anything that you want. But at the very basic level of a fully optimized website, mobile responsiveness, 500 pages of chiropractic-specific content already embedded into it, that would be just $99 a month. Every single one of our service levels comes with unlimited support and unlimited edits. So you'll never get nickel and dime. Anytime you want to make a change to your site, we're here to help. That includes updating the theme and your site. All of that is done free of charge. And we thankfully don't have any contracts. We're monthly. We want to earn your business, earn your trust. So yeah, give us a try. And we give you all that transparency, the Google Analytics, so that you can see your website traffic increase as well as your rankings increase over time.
So, and I will just add my 2 cents here as well, and what I've learned in the last 8.5 years, which is that I still have so much to learn, which is why I'm so grateful for this friendship and this relationship, because I continue to learn so much from everyone at ChiroMatrix. But if you are just wanting to get started because you feel like your web presence isn't strong enough, just remember that this isn't something that you just like, today we're going to go all wide open. Do it as a building block. Start with having a user-friendly, patient-friendly, mobile-friendly web presence, and then build on it from there. And that's what they're there for, to offer that guidance, to help you hold your hand along the way. And when you're ready to take that next step, you've got the website where it needs to be, and now you're going to tackle social media or SEO. That's what they're there for, to help you. And if you're wanting to step right out there and go all in right from the beginning, somebody's going to say, okay, great, but where do you want to start with first? Because you got to do it. It's building blocks. And that's, again, what I love, because there are so many companies out there that are they're going to sell you everything under the sun and every feature under the sun. But until you realize what it is that you're trying to accomplish, they're going to help you at ChiroMatrix to know, here's what we're trying to accomplish. You're going to evaluate where you're starting. They're going to hold your hand to get you where you're going. If you are at Parker Vegas this weekend, I really do encourage you, go by their booth. Do a demo. Look at what they have to offer. Talk to them. They are amazing and offer so much incredible information. Take the time, visit their booth. Make sure you visit ours too. But Ollie, what's your booth number in Vegas this weekend?
That's a good. Let me see. I know we're going to be on the main strip. Yeah, we're going to be right across from Chiro Economics. Right there on the main floor. We got a big 20 by 30 booth.
That should be easy. Oh, I know where you are because we're on the same row. Okay.
Really? Yeah, we're probably next to each other.
Imagine that. We like to be close to our friends. So the ChiroMatrix booth is booth number 513. ChiroHealthUSA booth is booth number 604. We're literally 2 booths away from one another on the same aisle.
Yeah,
so come
that's
by,
awesome.
see us, talk to us. Again, don't forget to let them know you're a ChiroHealthUSA provider, because, hey, they're going to make you fabulous and save you some money, and so that's what we want for you. If you have additional questions, because we are right at the time, you can email me, Christy, at ChiroHealthUSA.com. Since I'm going to be spending the rest of the week with Ali and everyone at Parker Vegas, I'll make sure he gets those, and everyone in his team back in San Diego gets those questions that you spoke to me. You're going to get an out-of-office email that says Christy's on vacay, but as we know, I'm working in Vegas. So just be patient. We'll get those questions answered for you. I encourage you, if you have not already registered for next week's webinar, please go ahead and do so. I am super excited because we have my very good friend Brandy Brimhall coming in to talking about accounts receivable. We've been talking about that a lot this month. The following week, we're going to have my dear friend Karen Hoyt, who's going to be talking about the chiropractic story and how you talk chiropractic to your patients, to your colleagues, to your community, because it is such an important conversation. And then following that up with technology and chiropractic with Dr. Jay Greenstein. If you haven't looked, we've got all of our webinars posted all the way through April. We've got some amazing people coming your way. Some people that you would have to go somewhere like Parker Vegas or a major event to see, like Heidi Havoc. So please check it out. Register early. We have a maximum of the number of people who can attend these webinars. If you don't make it in the max, you're going to have to catch the recording only. So anyway, enough of that. Y'all have patience to see and work to do. I hope you have a fabulous week, a wonderful day. And if you are in Parker Vegas, we look forward to having you stop by and say hi. I will catch you the next day or two.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you, Christy. Have a great day.
Bye, everyone. All right, we're off the air. Are you still there? Ali.